Good morning, and welcome to today's lesson. Today, I'm going to be continuing the story of the generations of Adam. We've gone up to now Joseph, and we are now entering into the life of Moses. So, my lesson today is called The Ability to Choose God. The ability to choose God. I believe that all of us on earth, all of us, have the ability to hear what God has to tell us. And when he talks to us, we are able to hear him. But in the life of Moses, when we go to Exodus chapter 1, we are told in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8 that the generation of Joseph died and a new king came, because Joseph was a very good king during his time, a very good governor. And a new king came, and they cared nothing about what Joseph did. You see, this is the thing about life, is that when you go and other people come, some people just don't care that you are here. So it is good to deal with that particular fact. And so they didn't care about what Joseph was doing. And they began to oppress the Israelites, because they were like, these Israelites, they are too many. They are becoming too many, and they will take over the world. And now they began to fear and panic. And so they are like, in fact, what we shall do, we shall oppress them. And there is a lesson to learn there, because they were oppressed. To be oppressed means that they were harshly treated by people over authority over them. You know, when people are over authority over you, they can treat you harshly and there's nothing you can do. You're just there, they are just mean, they are treating you badly. The Bible says they were forced to work, they became bitter, as in they were having a terrible time. A terrible time, the Israelites, a terrible one. And so, the Bible says that there was a man, a Levi, who married a Levite woman. And the man was called Amram. And the woman he married was called Jochebed. You can find that in Exodus 6 and Exodus chapter 6 and verse 20. And you can see the relationship that they had over there in that chapter. But coming back to the birth of Moses, during that time, there were two women who used to help the women of the Israelites have babies. They were called Shiphrah and somebody else, I can't remember her name. But these two women now, they were summoned by the king, and they were told, I want you, when the women have boys, I want you to kill them. And those women were like, wait a minute. As we believe in God, well, they didn't tell the king that, but when they went home, they had a discussion amongst them, I am thinking. And they were like, Shiphrah, do you think we should kill those boys? And Shiphrah was like, no, I don't think so. I think we should go and we should just find a way to go around it. So we shall create a lie, sort of. But it is not really a lie, because we are now obeying God. You know, sometimes, children, when you're told to do something bad, it is better to choose God, It is better to choose God, even if you have to go around the situation. So they would allow the women to have children very fast, and then they would keep the boys, Then the king was like, how come these children the boys are not dying? So they lied, and they said, well, I don't know if they lied or not, but in my mind, they were just being smart. They said, you know, these women, by the time we come to help them have babies, the babies have come out. So by the time we get there, the baby is alive, so we can't really kill them. So Shiphrah and the other lady, they chose to obey God. And the Bible says that God actually blessed them. God blessed them and allowed them to have their own families. That is the first thing I wanted you to learn about the birth of Moses. The second thing I wanted you to learn that nobody talks about in Exodus chapter 2 is after he was a bit older, after Jochebed had now had Moses, of course, babies cry. I don't know, has anybody ever thought about how the mother stopped him from crying? Because babies generally are very loud. That is not a quiet cry. So he would cry, and the mother kept him quiet until he was about 3 months, and then she made I think that basket she made, it must have been soundproof, because I don't even know how she thought of, let me now put him in the river. How do you have a baby and put him in the, what was he eating? Has anybody thought of that ever? What was he eating? So there he is crying. Obviously, he was crying because then he was found. Then he was found. And God preserved his life that way. Now, in my life, I have come to realize that God does not do things like human beings. And so when we are here on this earth, all of us, I believe that all of us are here for a purpose and a reason. And it doesn't matter your purpose or your reason, but if you are supposed to do it, God will make sure that you do it. Today, my story is to encourage you, from the women who helped save Moses' life, to his mother, to the woman who found him, those women, those people, is to encourage you that when you have a choice and the person authority over you is making you do the wrong thing, children, choose God. Always choose God. You may end up in prison or you may end up being beaten, but choose God because he will reward you for choosing him. Today, my lesson is very short. I hope you've learned something about it, but it is important to notice that people who choose God always win. So, have a blessed week. Remember to choose God, and the lesson shall continue from here next time. Bye-bye.